Hey guys, I'm Alistair and this is the Mount Coast T1. The Mount Coast T1 is Mount Coast's first trail running shoe, so of course I was very excited to get my hands on this. It had all the features that would make it potentially one of the best all-mountain trail running shoes out there, which really is why I wanted to get my hands on this and try it out so badly. It's built for long distance trail running and is very much capable of running on technical terrain. If you are new to the Mount Coast brand, they are fairly young in the grand scheme of things. They have brought out 3 other running shoes before this. They're all road running shoes. That is the R1, the P1 and the S1. If you want to learn about any of those, I'll put the links down in the descriptions. They've all been reviewed and they've all been approved. They're all absolutely fantastic. So if you are looking for a trail running shoe that's super comfortable and capable of doing ultra running no problem, then stick around. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Let's start with the key specifications then. The Mount Coast T1 cost $180 and it's available now. I will let you know at the end of this review if I believe it's worth that price tag. They weigh 9.1 ounces or 258 grams. That's for a size US men's 9, my pair. Now that's actually pretty lightweight for an all-mountain trail running shoe that has cushioning, protection, Vibram Mega Grip, a dual lacing system, and just overall a nice supportive upper. They have a drop of 4mm from heel to toe, and that's 36mm under the heel and 32mm under the forefoot. The upper mesh is Kevlar-reinforced. It's very breathable and it is extremely durable as well. And it's got a lot of cool things going on with it. Those features include a little pocket on the tongue for stowing the top lacing system. Any excess lacing that you might have here, you just stick it in there. That keeps it out of the way. Actually works pretty well. Could be better because it does have openings on the sides of that pocket. So if you're not careful, the system can slip out to the side, but I haven't experienced that personally. It also has a secondary lacing system for the bottom part or the midfoot area, which allows you to really dial in the fit, to be honest. It's really good. This bottom one down here doesn't have a garage, unfortunately. So what I do is just tuck it under the laces just above it, and that keeps it out of the way, stops it from flapping around. There's no finger loop at the rear. That's okay, keeps the weight down a little bit and they're not that hard to slip on. The midsole is using Mount Coast light cell PEBA based foam, which is fantastic. PEBA foam is really good. It's got great longevity, which means you keep that bounce or that response and that cushioning. You keep it for longer, making the shoe more durable. It's also got somewhat of a rocker in there. As you can see, that just helps smooth out the transitions from heel or midfoot landing to toe takeoff, making your stride just that little bit smoother and more efficient over longer distances. The outsole is using Vibram Mega Grip with traction lug and also light base. And if you're not familiar with light base, all that means is the actual surface or the thickness of this rubber compound outsole is thinner than a normal or standard Vibram Mega Grip. And what that does is reduce weight of the shoe. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Mount Coast T1 does fit true to size and it has a medium width. And there's a nice bit of room in the toe box as well. And don't worry if you have narrow feet, because this dual lacing setup does allow for a really good conforming fit, and you can just cinch it down to fit your feet really well. If you do have wider or high volume feet, the same goes for you. There's plenty of lace in this system to be able to expand to your feet, but also the upper does have some knit sections in the midsection, meaning it will expand and conform to larger feet too. All of this combined makes the shoe really, really comfortable to wear for long periods of time. but also gives you really good heel lock as well, which is very important if you are going to be going up steep inclines, because you don't want any heel slip out of a shoe, because that would mean you're losing energy as you're going up the hill. Same goes for if you're running on technical trails or running down steep declines very quickly. You want to be able to get your foot locked into a shoe so that you do feel like you've got full control as the trail beneath you does change. You want to be able to dynamically respond to that. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like. Make sure you hit it, slap it, tap it, whatever you want to do. Make sure that like is activated, please. And then comment on the video. I really want to make this channel a place where we can get everybody's opinions on running shoes. So if you've run in these before, I want you to tell me what you thought of them. Or if you haven't, maybe you just got a question about the shoe that maybe I haven't answered in this review, drop that down in the comments as well. The most important thing is just put something down in the comments. Let's get the conversation started. Let's help other subscribers of this channel learn more about this shoe, not just from my experience or my advice about it. Share your thoughts and advice as well. Let's make this the best resource for running shoes on YouTube. And of course, subscribe to this channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. I always keep things genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to help you decide whether or not the shoe I'm currently reviewing is going to be best for you and your needs. But of course, once again, if you've got any questions at all, just drop them down in the comments down below. I always reply to every comment. And hit that notification bell. That'll let you know as soon as new videos drop. Congrats, you've made it to my performance review, my favorite part of every review. I'm going to start with the comfort. And that includes the ride, because Mountain Coast has done a fantastic job. I'm not surprised, to be honest, because all the other 3 road running shoes that I've reviewed from Mountain Coast have all been incredibly comfortable. They fit my feet like a dream, but also I've absolutely loved the outsole technology in the midsole and the geometry of that midsole. It all just works really well. I can tell that they have put a lot of work in the lab. They've tested a lot of running feet and a lot of strides, a lot of different people, and how it's actually going to get applied to real runners out there like myself who aren't maybe elites. They just love running and they know what makes a good shoe. So I can tell all that work's gone into this shoe. So congratulations to Mountain Coast for putting out another great running shoe. The upper is just super comfortable, really dreamy to slip on. But then when you dial it in, you use the dual lacing system set up to get the fit perfect to your feet. Well, then you get next level comfort. And that's really what you want if you are going to be running ultra marathons, because you're going to be out there a long time. Your shoes have to be comfortable. That's not just the upper I'm talking about. They have to be comfortable underfoot too, meaning they have to give you nice protection, nice absorption of shock as well. So they have to be a little bit soft underfoot to be able to take thousands and thousands of steps during an ultra marathon. But they also have to have good response to give you really good efficiency throughout that time when you're running through the mountains or whatever trails you're running. It has to be balanced. And once again, Mountain Coast has made a really well balanced midsole with the T1. The upper also has a gusseted tongue, meaning it is connected to the top of the midsole. That stops the tongue from slipping around as you're running, but it also reduces the amount of rubbing points within the shoes to help stop you get blisters or hot points. Adding to the comfort is the fact that the upper is very breathable, and that's awesome because I want my shoes to be breathable for a number of reasons. I tend to run at quite a high intensity even when I'm doing an ultra marathon. There's no off button for me. I always try and take it easy, but I don't know, race day comes around and I just go 100%. Are you the same? Let me know in the comments. But my point is I need a breathable upper because my feet will get hot. There's going to be a lot of friction going on and the things are going to heat up within the shoe. So I need that hot air to escape. I need my feet that are probably going to be sweating after half an hour of running in a race. I need that sweat to be able to evaporate. That's where a breathable upper comes in. But not just that. If I'm going to be crossing streams or it's going to be raining during a race, I need the upper to be able to drain well as well. A shoe can't drain if it's not breathable. Of course, water's always going to find its way in the shoe, whether it's around the collars or the back of the heel counter, or just seeping through the upper. but it's how it escapes the shoe that's most important. And you need a breathable upper to allow that to happen. I really like how durable this upper is as well. I mentioned before it's Kevlar-reinforced, meaning it's very unlikely to tear. You'd have to be extremely unlucky, maybe snagging it on your wife's diamond ring, that might tear it. But if you're not that unlucky, I think you're going to be all right with this upper. It's incredibly durable, and the fact it's not stiff but durable, so it does conform to your feet. That's what makes it special to me. The shoe also has really good support at the heel. That helps with stability on the run. So you can see around the collars, there is some support and rigidity there. Just hold your foot in the shoe nicely. I like the fact that the upper does have a little bit of space in the toe box as well. That's really important because you do want a little bit of space for your toes to be able to splay, especially when you're going up hills. You need them to splay out because that gives you more surface area and allows your biomechanics to work how they've been designed to work. It allows you to push off, get more power, and really make your way up that hill as quickly as possible. If you had a tight toe box, your toes just can't do that. They're going to get cramped. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to hurt after a while, and you just won't get power and efficiency on the run. Now, the lacing system is a little bit of a double-edged sword, and it is a double lacing system. The way you want to be using it is you want to dial in this lower lacing system first. Once you've dialed that in once, you shouldn't really have to change that. So every time you put the shoes on, you're not going to be touching that lower one. I never do anyway. Now, some runners who may experience their feet swelling rather a lot during a race or a run, you might want to just be tweaking that as you go to give your feet more space on the run. But if you're using this as a training shoe, you probably won't experience that as much. So what I do is I leave that bottom one as is, I slip my foot in, and I just adjust the top one. I can put that extra lacing into the garage on top of the tongue to tuck it away. Then it's out of the way and it doesn't get snagged on anything on the trails. Looks very tidy, works really well. I love the fact that it's got a 4mm drop as well. Now, if you're not familiar with a lower drop, the first few times you run in a shoe with a low drop, you're probably going to experience your calves doing more work. And that's how they're designed to be. You probably will walk away feeling like your calves are stiff, like they've been used or sore, because your muscles have been used more in the calf area. Don't worry about that. Stick with it, keep using it, and your muscles in your calves are going to get used to that. And in the long run, you'll be thankful for it because a lower drop gives you a lot more control on the trails. That's really where you want to be sitting if you are navigating technical trails. So I love Manta Coast has gone with a 4mm drop on this one. It tells me it's a serious trail running shoe. In general, it gives you really good ground feel, more control, and helps you feel more connected to the trail beneath. All really good attributes if you are running on technical terrain. And that leads me to the outsole. Yes, it's Vibram Mega Grip. You can't go wrong with that. Best in class right now. And I love the fact it's light base. Lugs are deep enough to give it lots of control, lots of traction on wet mud, but also dusty trails. And if you're going up steep inclines, it does bite into the trail really well. And of course it has your back when you're going down steep hills as well. If you're wondering where the Manta Coast T1 features on my best all mountain trail running shoes roundup, well, definitely follow that link up there. I'll put it in the description as well. That'll take you to the top 10 list on alistairrunning.com. On there, that's always up to date and refreshed as and when I review all mountain trail running shoes, and if they're good enough, then they'll make it to that list. Whew. Well, thanks for sticking with me for that performance review. I had a lot to get through, and if this video ends up being quite long, I apologize, but also I don't, because I want to get all the best information out there for you. So I do appreciate you sticking around, watching it all, and absorbing all this knowledge and experience with this shoe. Is it worth $180? My final verdict: yes. Yes, it is very much worth $180. The Manta Coast T1 is a fantastic all-mountain trail running shoe. I absolutely love it. I'm considering using this one for Speedgoat mountain races. I'm doing a 28-kilometer race in about 6 weeks, I think it is. I do plan to put a video together about how I'm training for a high altitude race, which has a lot of vertical gain in it whilst in Florida. It's going to be quite an interesting video. I've been doing a lot of hacks and doing a lot of sneaky things to make sure I'm prepared for this race. So I can't wait to share that with you. Let me know in the comments below if you're planning to race this event as well. Which distance are you running? What shoes are you going to wear? Let me know all that in the comments and maybe I'll see you out there. But I'll probably go for these, maybe the Prodigio Pro, maybe my Merrell MTL Long Sky 2 Matrix, or maybe the Salomon S Lab Genesis. I've got some hard decisions to make right now. So $180 for a all-mountain trail runner shoes that's super comfortable, super capable of going long distances for ultra running. Really, this has got so much to love about it. And don't be put off because maybe you haven't heard of Mount to Coast yet. Really, all their shoes so far have been fantastic, and give it time. These guys are going to be competing with the best, absolutely no problem. They already are, but more people are going to get to know this brand, and the word will get out. Mount to Coast know what they're doing. Well, thanks for watching this review. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, drop a comment, and I'll see you on the next review. Peace.